The gunshot echoed. My daughter Lily collapsed, bleeding from her chest. Karen drove away, smiling, unaware she just shot the county sheriff's child. She thought we were nobody. She didn't know I control every cop, every court in this county. Now that bullet in Lily's heart will haunt Karen forever. Before watching full story, comment below from where you watching. Also like and subscribe for more stories. The call came at 2:17 p.m. on a Tuesday. Sheriff Morrison, there's been a shooting. Intersection of Maple and 5th. Female victim, gunshot wound to the chest. Ambulance on scene. I was in a budget meeting. Numbers and reports covered the table. None of it mattered anymore. Location. My voice stayed calm, but my hands gripped the desk. Maple and 5th, sir. Victim is a teenage girl. Witnesses say road rage incident. Maple and 5th. That was near Lily's school. My daughter's school. My heart stopped. Victim's name. Sir, we don't have. I was already running out of the office, down the stairs, into my patrol car. Sirens blaring. My phone rang. My wife Rebecca. Her scream came through before I even said hello. They shot her. David, they shot Lily. The world tilted. Everything moved in slow motion and too fast at the same time. Where are you? I managed to ask. In the ambulance. There's so much blood. Oh God, David, there's so much blood. Stay with her. I'm coming. I drove like I'd never driven before. Lights flashing, sirens screaming, other cars blurred past. Lily, my baby girl, 16 years old, born with a heart defect that required 3 surgeries before she turned 10. A fighter from her first breath. The doctors had warned us. Lily's heart is fragile. Avoid stress. Avoid physical trauma. Another surgery might not be possible. We protected her so carefully, monitored her health, made sure she lived as normal a life as possible while keeping her safe, and now someone had shot her. I reached the scene. Yellow tape, patrol cars, blood on the pavement. Officer Martinez saw me. His face went pale. Sheriff, I didn't know it was. Where is she? Hospital. St. Mary's. Sir, the suspect fled, but we have witnesses. We have a plate number. We'll find who did this. Martinez hesitated. Witnesses say it was Karen Westfield. Lives on Oakmont Drive. There was a traffic argument. She pulled a gun in. Karen Westfield. The name hit me like a punch. I knew that name. Everyone in the county knew Karen Westfield. HOA president of Riverside Estates. The woman who appeared at every town council meeting. The woman who complained about everything but a shooter. A person who would pull a gun on a teenager in traffic. Get me everything. Witnesses. Camera footage. Find her car. I want her in custody within the hour. Yes, sir. I drove to the hospital. My hands shook on the wheel. I tried calling Rebecca. No answer. She was with Lily. Of course, she couldn't answer. Please, God. Please let my baby be okay. I ran through the emergency room doors. The nurse at the desk saw my uniform in my face. Sheriff Morrison, your wife is in trauma room 3. Your daughter is in surgery. Surgery. The word echoed in my head. Rebecca sat in the waiting area covered in blood. Our daughter's blood. Her hands shook. Her eyes stared at nothing. Rebecca. I knelt in front of her. She looked at me and I saw something break in her eyes. They shot her David right in the chest. She was just driving, just going to pick up her prescription from the pharmacy. That woman started screaming at her about cutting her off. Lily apologized. She apologized. David and that monster pulled out a gun and shot her through the window. I held my wife while she sobbed. Other families in the waiting room stared. Let them stare. Where was Lily hit? Left side of her chest, close to her heart. Rebecca's voice cracked. The paramedic said. He said the bullet is near her heart. They can't remove it yet. Her heart can't handle the trauma. David, what if her heart gives out? What if we lose her? We won't. Lily's strong. Her heart isn't. Her heart isn't strong. One more trauma, they said. One more stress on her heart and Rebecca couldn't finish. A doctor and scrubs approached. Dr. Patel, Lily's cardiologist, the man who had performed 2 of her 3 heart surgeries. Sheriff Morrison, Mrs. Morrison. His face was grave. Lily is stable for now, but her condition is critical. The bullet? I asked. Lodged 2 centimeters from her heart. We can't operate to remove it. Her heart is too weak. The surgery would kill her. Dr. Patel looked at us with sad eyes. We're keeping her in a medically induced coma, giving her body time to stabilize. But I need to be honest with you. The bullet could shift, could pierce her heart, or the trauma from the shooting could cause her heart to fail. The next 48 hours are critical. Rebecca made a sound like a wounded animal. Can we see her? I asked. So, we're moving her to ICU now, but Sheriff Morrison. Dr. Patel lowered his voice. I've been Lily's doctor for 10 years. I've never seen her heart this stressed. Even with the coma, her heart rate is dangerously elevated. We're doing everything we can, but you need to prepare yourselves. Prepare ourselves. Medical speak, for she might die. Find the person who did this, Rebecca whispered. Find her and make her pay. I kissed my wife's forehead. I will. I promise you I will. I called my deputy, James Chin. Best investigator in the department. Also a father. He understood. James, I need you to lead this investigation personally. Already on it, boss. We have the suspect's vehicle on traffic cameras. Black Mercedes plate number matching Karen Westfield's registration. We're tracking it now. Witnesses. For solid witnesses all say the same thing. Karen Westfield started screaming at a teenage girl in a silver Honda. The girl apologized. Karen pulled a gun and fired through the driver's window, then drove off. My blood boiled. She shot a teenager who apologized to her. That's what they're saying. Boss, there's more. We pulled Karen Westfield's record. 3 complaints of aggressive driving. 2 restraining orders filed against her by neighbors. History of anger issues. She's been in therapy, court ordered for road rage, and she still has a gun. Licensed and legal. She has a concealed carry permit. I wanted to scream. A woman with documented anger issues with restraining orders against her. Could legally carry a gun, and she'd used it to shoot my daughter. Where is she now? Her car was spotted heading toward her home. We have units moving in. Sweat is on standby if needed. I'm coming. Boss, you can't. You're too close to this. Let us handle. James, that woman shot my daughter. My Lily. She's in a coma with a bullet near her heart. You think I'm gonna sit in a hospital while you arrest her? Silence. Then understood. But you stay back. You don't go near her. Agreed. Agreed. I was lying. When I saw Karen Westfield, I didn't know what I'd do. But staying back wasn't an option. Riverside Estates, fancy neighborhood, big houses, perfect lawns, the kind of place where people cared more about property values than people. Karen Westfield's house was the biggest on the block. 3 stories, columns, a fountain in the front yard. Patrol cars surrounded it. Officers in position. James stood by his vehicle, phone to his ear. He saw me and ended the call. She's inside. Neighbors saw her arrive 20 minutes ago. She knows we're here. She peeked through the curtains. Has she said anything? Her lawyer is on the way. Karen called him before we even got here. Of course she did. People like Karen always had lawyers on speed dial. I want to talk to her.
David? No.
You're the victim's father. You can't. I'm also the county sheriff. I can do a wellness check. James looked at me hard. Don't do something you'll regret. I walked toward the house. Officers moved aside. They knew who I was. They knew what had happened. Some looked at me with pity, others with understanding. I knocked on the door. Karen Westfield. This is Sheriff Morrison. Open the door. Nothing. I knocked again. I know you're in there. Open this door or we're coming in. The door opened a crack. A woman's face appeared. Late 40s. Blonde hair perfectly styled. Makeup flawless. Cold blue eyes. I have nothing to say without my lawyer. Karen said, You shot a teenage girl today. I exercised my right to self-defense. That girl tried to run me off the road. I felt rage explode in my chest. Self-defense. You shot an unarmed teenager through her car window. I felt threatened. She was driving aggressively. She's 16 years old. She has a heart condition. I stopped myself. Don't give her information. Don't give her ammunition for her defense. Karen's eyes narrowed. I don't care if she has a heart condition. She shouldn't be on the road if she can't drive properly. This is her fault, not mine. I stepped closer. Shouldn't be on the road if she can't drive properly. This is her fault, not mine. I stepped closer. The door was still barely open, but I could see her clearly now. No fear, no remorse, just cold defiance. That girl you shot is my daughter. Karen's face changed just for a second. A flicker of something. Fear. Realization. Then it hardened again. Then you should have taught her better driving skills. Now, if you'll excuse me, my lawyer will be here soon. I have nothing more to say. She tried to close the door. I stopped it with my hand. Karen Westfield, you're under arrest for attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon, and reckless endangerment. You have the right to remain silent. I'm not coming out until my lawyer arrives. You don't get that choice, officers. James and 2 other officers moved in. Karen tried to slam the door. They pushed through. Karen screamed. This is police brutality. I'm a citizen with rights. You can't just barge into my home. We have multiple witnesses. James said calmly while handcuffing her. We have your vehicle on camera. You fired a weapon in public, fled the scene, and endangered lives. You're coming with us. Karen fought, screamed, threatened lawsuits, threatened complaints, threatened to call the governor. I watched them load her into the patrol car. She looked at me through the window. No apology, no remorse, just rage that she'd been caught. I returned to the hospital. Rebecca sat by Lily's bed in ICU. Our daughter looked so small. Tubes and wires everywhere. Machines beeping. The ventilator breathing for her. They caught her, I said softly. Rebecca didn't look away from Lily. Good. Is she suffering? She's in a cell. Not enough. Not nearly enough. Rebecca's voice was flat. Empty. She shot our baby and drove away. She didn't call for help. Didn't check if Lily was alive. Just drove home like nothing happened. I sat beside my wife, took her hand. We watched our daughter breathe, or rather watched the machine breathe for her. The doctor said we can talk to her, Rebecca whispered. He said she might be able to hear us even in the coma. I've been talking to her for hours, telling her to fight, to stay with us. I leaned close to Lily's ear. Hey baby girl, it's Dad. You need to wake up, okay? Mom and I are right here. We're not going anywhere. You're so strong, Lily. The strongest person I know. Remember when you were 7 and had that surgery? The doctor said you'd be in the hospital for 2 weeks, but you fought so hard you went home in 5 days. You can fight this too. No response. Just the steady beep of the heart monitor and the whoosh of the ventilator. I arrested the woman who did this. I continued. She's gonna prison for a long time. Justice is coming, Lily. But I need you to wake up to see it. I need you to be okay. Please, baby. Please wake up. Still nothing. Rebecca and I stayed there all night holding Lily's hands, watching for any sign of improvement. Dr. Patel came in at 6 a.m. Her heart rate is still elevated. We're trying different medications, but her body is fighting us. The trauma was severe. I'm sorry, but I need to tell you if her condition doesn't improve in the next 24 hours, we might lose her. News of the shooting spread fast. By morning, it was on every local channel. Teen shot in road rage incident. HOA president arrested for shooting. Sheriff's daughter fights for life. My phone exploded with messages. Fellow officers, town officials, friends, strangers. But one message caught my attention from a number I didn't recognize. Sheriff Morrison, this is Angela Torres. I live in Riverside Estates, Karen Westfield's neighborhood. I need to talk to you about Karen. She's done this before. Please call me. I called immediately. Sheriff Morrison. Angela's voice shook. Thank you for calling. I saw the news about your daughter. I'm so sorry, but I had to reach out because Karen has threatened people with her gun before. What? 3 months ago, she pulled her gun on my husband during an HOA meeting. He questioned her spending. She's been using HOA money for personal expenses. She got angry, pulled out her gun, and waved it at him. Said she'd shoot him if he kept spreading lies. We were too scared to report it. She's powerful in this community. She's made people's lives hell for crossing her. My hands clenched. You're willing to testify to this? Yes. And Sheriff, there are others, at least 5 families who have been threatened by Karen with her gun, with lawsuits, with destroying their lives. We've all been too afraid to speak up. But after what she did to your daughter, we can't stay silent anymore. I'll send an investigator to take your statement today. Thank you. And Sheriff, I'm praying for your daughter. I called James. We need to dig deeper into Karen Westfield. Find everyone she's threatened, everyone she's terrorized. This wasn't a one-time road rage incident. This is a pattern on it. By afternoon, we had statements from 8 people. 8 separate incidents where Karen had pulled her gun and threatened someone. During HOA meetings, during neighborhood disputes, during traffic incidents, Karen Westfield was a ticking time bomb. And she'd finally exploded, shooting my daughter. Karen made bail $500,000. She paid it like it was pocket change. Her lawyer held a press conference that evening. I watched it from Lily's hospital room. My client Karen Westfield is innocent, the lawyer said smoothly. She acted in self-defense when an aggressive driver threatened her life. Ms. Westfield has a legal concealed carry permit. She is a responsible gun owner who feared for her safety. The driver, whose identity I won't mention out of respect, was driving recklessly and endangered Ms. Westfield's life. Any reasonable person in that situation would have acted to protect themselves. Reporters shouted questions, but witnesses say your client shot first. Witnesses are often mistaken in high-stress situations. My client will be vindicated when this goes to trial. The victim is a teenage girl with a heart condition. My client had no way of knowing the driver's age or medical condition. She responded to a threat. That is her legal right. Rebecca threw the remote at the TV. It bounced off and clattered to the floor. That liar. Lily apologized. She didn't threaten anyone. I turned off the TV. Don't listen to them. They're just doing their job. We have witnesses. We have evidence. Karen will go to prison. Will she? You heard him. Self-defense. What if she gets away with it? What if she walks free while our daughter Rebecca couldn't finish? I had the same fear. Karen was wealthy, connected. She'd already proven she could manipulate the legal system. But I was the county sheriff. I had resources, too, and I would use every single one to make sure justice was served. On day 3, something miraculous happened. Lily's eyes opened. Rebecca screamed for the doctor. Dr. Patel came running. Nurses flooded the room. Lily, can you hear me? Dr. Patel asked. Our daughter's eyes moved, focused on the doctor, then on Rebecca, then on me. She tried to speak, but the ventilator tube prevented it. Don't try to talk, Dr. Patel said gently. You're in the hospital. You were shot, but you're going to be okay. We're going to remove the breathing tube now. This will be uncomfortable, but I need you to stay calm. Can you do that for me? Lily nodded slightly. They removed the tube. Lily coughed, gasped. Mom! Her voice was barely a whisper. Rebecca sobbed, holding Lily's hand. I'm here, baby. I'm right here, Dad. Right here, Lily. I moved to the other side of the bed. What happened? Lily's eyes filled with tears. I remember a woman screaming the so much pain. You were shot, I said gently. But you're safe now. The person who hurt you is in jail. I apologized. Lily whispered. She was mad about the lane change. I said I was sorry. I was getting medicine for my heart. I had to get to the pharmacy before it closed. I didn't mean to make her angry. Rebecca kissed Lily's forehead. It's not your fault. None of this is your fault. Dr. Patel examined Lily carefully. The bullet is still lodged near your heart. We can't remove it yet. Maybe never. You'll need to be very careful. No physical stress. No raising your heart rate too much. Lily, do you understand? Your heart is very fragile right now.
Will Edie?
Lily asked, tears streaming down her face. Not if we're careful, Dr. Patel said. But this is serious. You'll need monitoring for the rest of your life. The bullet could shift. Your heart could fail. We're going to do everything possible to prevent that, but you need to be aware of the risks. My daughter, 16 years old, Just learned she'd live the rest of her life with a bullet near her heart. A constant threat, a ticking time bomb inside her own chest because Karen Westfield couldn't control her anger. James brought me a thick file. You need to see this. Karen Westfield's history. It was worse than we thought. 15 years ago, in another county, arrested for assaulting a grocery store clerk over a coupon dispute. Charges dropped. 12 years ago, restraining order filed by a neighbor. Karen had threatened to burn down their house over a property line dispute. She paid them off. Case closed. 8 years ago, fired from her job at a real estate company for threatening a client with a letter opener. Client didn't press charges. 5 years ago, arrested for assaulting her ex-husband. He dropped charges after she agreed to the divorce settlement, and recently 8 separate incidents of pulling her gun on people. None reported to police until now. She's gotten away with violence her entire life. James said money, threats, intimidation. She makes problems disappear. Not this time. I said we're charging her with attempted murder. With her history, no jury will believe self-defense. Her lawyer is good, David. Really good. He's already arguing that all these past incidents are irrelevant. He's painting Karen as a victim of aggressive drivers and neighbors. Then we need to be better. I contacted the district attorney, Maria Santos. Tough prosecutor. She put away murderers and gang members. If anyone could convict Karen, it was Maria. Sheriff Morrison, Maria said when I walked into her office. I'm so sorry about Lily. How is she alive? For now, I've reviewed the case. The evidence is strong. Multiple witnesses, camera footage of her vehicle, the gun with her fingerprints. She's going to prison. Her lawyer is claiming self-defense. I know it's garbage, but it's the only defense they have. David, I need you to trust me. I'm going to push for attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon, and reckless endangerment. We're looking at 20 to 30 years of convicted. Make it stick. I will. But David, Maria hesitated. You need to prepare yourself. Juries are unpredictable. Karen is a wealthy white woman with no criminal convictions. She'll clean up nice for trial. She'll cry. Her lawyer will paint her as a scared victim. Your daughter will be portrayed as a reckless driver despite being the victim. You need to be ready for that. I felt sick. They'll attack Lily. They'll have to. It's their only strategy. They'll say she was driving aggressively, that Karen had reason to fear for her life. David, it's going to be ugly. Let them try. Lily apologized. Multiple witnesses heard her apologize. How does that fit with aggressive driving? It doesn't. And that's what we'll hammer in court. But you need to keep your emotions in check. You're the county sheriff. You can't be seen as biased or vengeful. Let me handle the prosecution. You focus on being a father. She was right, but it was the hardest thing anyone had ever asked me to do. 6 months later, Karen Westfield's trial began. Lily was there in a wheelchair. Dr. Patel didn't want her to attend. Too stressful for her heart. But Lily insisted. I need to face her. My daughter said. I need her to see what she did to me. The courtroom was packed. Media supporters, protesters outside with signs. Justice for Lily and lock her up. Karen walked in wearing an expensive suit. Hair perfect, makeup perfect. She looked like a businesswoman, not a shooter. She glanced at Lily. No emotion, no remorse, just a cold stare. Lily's hand found mine. She was shaking. The trial lasted 3 weeks. The prosecution presented witness after witness. Mrs. Chin, who saw everything. Karen was screaming obscenities at the young girl. The girl said, I'm sorry I didn't see you. Karen yelled, You stupid bitch, pulled out a gun and shot her, then drove away. Officer Martinez, first responder. The victim was conscious when I arrived. She kept saying, I apologized. Why did she shoot me? I apologized. There was so much blood. Dr. Patel, the bullet is lodged 2 centimeters from Lily's heart. Removing it would likely kill her. She will live the rest of her life with this bullet inside her with a constant threat of heart failure. Every day is borrowed time. Angela Torres and 7 others testified about Karen's past threats. The prosecution showed camera footage of Karen's car following Lily's car, showed the moment the gun appeared in Karen's window. Karen's lawyer tried to paint a different picture. My client is a respected community member, a successful businesswoman. She has no criminal record. On that day, she feared for her life when an aggressive driver nearly caused an accident. She reacted to protect herself. That is not a crime. It is survival. He brought in an expert who testified that Karen's response was reasonable given the perceived threat. Then Karen took the stand. She cried. Actually cried real tears. I was terrified. Karen said, her voice shaking. This car came out of nowhere, cutting me off. I honked. The driver. I didn't know it was a teenager. I just saw someone being reckless. The driver kept going. I followed to try to get the license plate to report dangerous driving. Then the car stopped suddenly. I thought they were going to attack me. I've been carjacked before. Panicked. I pulled out my gun for protection. It went off accidentally. I never meant to hurt anyone. It was all lies, every word. But she sold it well. Some jury members looked sympathetic. Then it was the prosecution's turn. Maria Santos stood up. Ms. Westfield, you testified the gun went off accidentally. Yes. Yet you fired through a closed car window. How does one accidentally fire through glass? Karen hesitated. It was the panic. My finger slipped. I see. And after this accident, you drove away. You didn't call 911. You didn't check on the victim. You went home. Is that correct? I was in shock. So in shock that you called your lawyer before police even arrived at the scene. Silence. Ms. Westfield, let's talk about your history. 8 people testified that you threatened them with your gun. Were those accidents too? Those are lies. Character assassination. Are you calling Angela Torres a liar? A woman who has lived in your neighborhood for 10 years with no history of dishonesty. She's always hated me. What about Mr. Peterson? Miss Lou? The Rodriguez family? All liars. Karen's face reened. The mask slipped. Those people refused to follow rules. They deserved. She stopped, realized what she'd said. Maria pounced. They deserved what, Miss Westfield? To be threatened to fear for their lives. No, that's not what you just testified that you've never threatened anyone. Yet now you're saying they deserved something. Which is it? Karen's lawyer objected. The judge sustained it, but the damage was done. The jury saw the real Karen. Angry, entitled, dangerous. The jury deliberated for 2 days. Lily sat with us in the courthouse hallway. Her heart monitor beeped softly. She wore it constantly. Now, any spike in heart rate, any stress could be fatal. What if they let her go? Lily whispered. They won't. I said, praying I was right. The bailiff called us back. The jury has reached a verdict. We filed into the courtroom. Karen sat straight, confident. Her lawyer whispered to her. The judge spoke. Has the jury reached a verdict? The foreman stood. We have, Your Honor. On the charge of attempted murder. How do you find? Guilty, Rebecca gasped. I squeezed Lily's hand. On the charge of assault with a deadly weapon? Guilty. On the charge of reckless endangerment? Guilty. Karen's face went white. Her lawyer put his hand on her arm. She shook it off. The judge set sentencing for 2 weeks later. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarmed us. I gave a brief statement. Justice was served today. Karen Westfield will face consequences for her violent actions. But this isn't about revenge. It's about accountability. It's about protecting our community from dangerous people. Most importantly, it's about my daughter Lily, who will carry the physical and emotional scars of this attack for the rest of her life. We hope this verdict brings some peace to our family and to the other victims of Karen Westfield's violence. Lily added softly, I forgive her, but I hope she learns that anger destroys everything. I hope she finds peace in prison because living with that much hate must be so lonely. My daughter shot and traumatized with a bullet forever lodged near her heart. And still she found compassion. Karen Westfield could learn something from her. The sentencing hearing was emotional. Lily testified about her life now, the constant monitoring, the fear that any stress could kill her, the nightmares, the panic attacks when she hears loud noises. I can't play sports anymore, Lily said, tears in her eyes. I wanted to play soccer. I can't run. I can't even walk upstairs without my heart rate spiking dangerously. I live in fear every single day. That bullet is still inside me. Could move. Could kill me. And I have to live with that forever because Mrs. Westfield couldn't control her anger for 5 seconds. Angela Torres and others testified about years of fear under Karen's threats. The judge listened to everything, then he spoke. Miss Westfield, I've reviewed your history thoroughly. This is not an isolated incident. This is a pattern of violence, intimidation, and complete disregard for others. You terrorized your community. You threatened innocent people. And when a 16-year-old girl with a heart condition accidentally cut you off in traffic and apologized, you shot her. You nearly killed her and you showed no remorse. Karen's lawyer tried to speak. The judge held up his hand. The victim impact statements are devastating. Lily Morrison will live with your bullet inside her for the rest of her life, however long that may be. Every day is uncertain for her and you. You went home and called your lawyer. The judge looked at Karen with disgust. On the charge of attempted murder, 25 years in state prison. On assault with a deadly weapon, 15 years to run consecutively. On reckless endangerment, 5 years also consecutive. Total sentence, 45 years. You will be eligible for parole after serving 35 years. Karen was 48 years old. She'd be 83 before parole eligibility. She screamed, "This is wrong. I was defending myself. That girl ruined my life." The judge's voice turned ice cold. "You ruined your own life, Miss Westfield." Officers remove her. They dragged Karen away, still screaming, still blaming everyone but herself. 2 years have passed. Lily is 18 now. She graduated high school with honors. The bullet is still there, nestled against her heart. It always will be. She can't play soccer, can't run, has to be careful about stress, wears a heart monitor 24/7. Lives with the knowledge that any day could be her last. But she's alive. She's studying to be a victim's advocate. She wants to help people who've suffered from violence. She gives speeches about gun safety and anger management. Something good has to come from this. Lily says, "If I can help one person, if I can stop one shooting, then maybe this bullet has a purpose." Karen is in prison. She's filed 3 appeals. All denied. She'll die there. The neighborhood of Riverside Estates has changed. New HOA leadership. Kindness instead of fear. People look out for each other now. Rebecca and I take nothing for granted. Every day with Lily is precious. Every smile, every laugh, every moment, because we almost lost her. We came so close to burying our daughter. Tonight, Lily is in her room working on college applications. I stand in the doorway watching her. She looks up and smiles. "What?" "Nothing. Just I love you. I love you too, Dad. That's all that matters." Well, family, second chances. Karen Westfield tried to take that away from us. She failed. Lily is here. She's thriving. She's making the world better despite carrying a bullet near her heart. And that, I realize, is the greatest victory of all. Not the guilty verdict. Not the 45-year sentence, but this. My daughter, alive and full of purpose, refusing to let hate win. Karen Westfield is in a cell, but Lily Morrison is.